Are you ready, Dirty Birds Nation, to have your faith tested? Or perhaps, are you just plain tired of the disrespect? Because as we stand on the precipice of the 2025 NFL season, a major sports network has dropped a prediction so baffling, so utterly out of touch, it makes you wonder if they've been watching the same Atlanta Falcons as us. Get ready, because we're diving deep into some truly head-scratching takes, and then we'll reveal the official Week 1 depth chart that we know tells a very different story. Welcome to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Moose, and even though I'm recording this from a slightly less than studio setup, just 48 hours away from my own personal Super Bowl, my wedding, the news that hit my desk today demanded immediate attention. ESPN, a name we often associate with authority in sports, has just released an article that can only be described as insane. And on top of that, the official Falcons depth chart for our Week 1 clash against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is finally here, and it's got some surprises. Let's start with that ESPN article penned by Jeff Legwold. For those unfamiliar, Legwold makes a habit of dropping these previews and predictions throughout the offseason, offering his outlook for the upcoming season. He did it before training camp, before preseason, and now, right before the regular season kicks off. And his latest take on our Atlanta Falcons? He predicts us as the 25th best team entering the 2025 season, with a mere 37.4% chance to make the playoffs. And get this, he's got us finishing 8-9 again. Now, let that sink in for a moment. 25th best team, an 8-9 record, a playoff chance barely over 1/3. Is anyone else out there as utterly flabbergasted as I am? This isn't just a slight. It feels like a fundamental misunderstanding of what this Falcons team has been building. We've seen the significant moves throughout the draft, the meticulous filtering of players, the strategic cuts, all geared towards a stronger 2025 season. To dismiss all of that with such a low ranking, especially when considering the context, is truly mind-boggling. And here's where it gets even more perplexing. ESPN also ranks the Falcons as having the 13th easiest schedule in 2025. Let me repeat that. 13th easiest schedule, yet they project us as the 25th best team, destined for another sub-.500 season. Some part of me, the part that respects the legacy of ESPN, wants to trust their analysis. But then I look at lists like this, and I have to ask, are these analysts actually watching? Are they attending training camps, seeing these new players in action, feeling the pulse of the team on the ground? Because if they were, I genuinely believe they wouldn't have the Atlanta Falcons ranked anywhere near this low. Now, let's be clear, we're not crowning the Falcons a top 10 team right now. There's a lot we need to see unfold this season before we start making those kinds of declarations. It's a long road ahead, but when you consider the ease of our division, with the Carolina Panthers still deep in a rebuild, the Saints looking arguably worse than ever, and really the only consistent competition being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, coupled with that 13th easiest schedule, placing us at 25th is frankly ridiculous. Our internal projections, based on what we've seen, would put the Falcons at least in the top 20, probably somewhere between 17 and 20, perhaps around that 18th mark as of right now. Of course, the defense remains a major question mark, and we absolutely need to see how they perform. But it's hard to look at Jeff Legwold's assessment and not feel he's missing the bigger picture. With all due respect to these national reporters, their job is to provide a broad overview of the NFL. They aren't typically boots on the ground with specific teams like the Falcons every single day. When they look at our roster, they might see Bijan Robinson as the clear offensive star and Michael Penix Jr. as a big question mark, having only started a few games. These are generalized takes, outsider perspectives, but if you followed Falcons training camp, if you listened to the local reporters, you'd know the offense is poised to be a significant strength for the Falcons' 2025 success. The defense, yes, is the primary area we need to watch closely. But to predict an 8-9 season, especially with an easy middle stretch of the schedule, just feels disconnected from reality. It's insane to speculate on the Falcons' trajectory without watching the day-to-day grind. Before we dive into the official Week 1 depth chart, a quick word about our friends over at PrizePicks. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, where being right can actually get you paid. It's incredibly simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in. PrizePicks is the best way to get in on sports action in over 40 states, including California, Texas, and right here in our home state of Georgia. So, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. You'll find all the details in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. All right, let's get to the real meat of today's video, the official Falcons depth chart for Week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Apologies if you see me glancing at my phone. I don't have my usual chat sports setup with graphics on display, but I've got the essential notes right here. For the most part, the offensive side of the ball holds few surprises. Your starting wide receivers are Drake London, Ray McCloud, and Darnell Mooney, who is currently listed as day-to-day. That day-to-day designation is a good sign, typically meaning if he's not ready for Week 1, he'll almost certainly be good to go by Week 2 or 3. And in the NFL, every single game matters. The offensive line looks pretty standard. Jake Matthews at left tackle, Matthew Bergeron at left guard, and Ryan Neuzil starting at center. The one spot we had a slight asterisk by was right tackle, and as we predicted on this show, Elijah Wilkinson gets the start there. So, no major shocks on offense, which is a testament to the stability and talent we've been building. Now, defensively, this is where it gets truly interesting. Your starting edges are Arnold Ebiketie and Leonard Floyd. Ebiketie is a versatile player who can put his hand down on the line or stand up as a traditional edge rusher, giving the defense some crucial flexibility. On the interior defensive line, you'll see David Onyemata and Brandon Dorlus, who we projected as a starter. At linebacker, Caden Ellis and Divine Deablo are your interior anchors. But here's the real head-turner in the secondary. D. Alford is not listed as a nickel corner. Instead, Natron Brooks is listed behind Billy Bowman Jr., who gets the starting nod at nickel. In fact, Alford is currently behind A.J. Terrell at outside corner. This is quite telling, especially considering Alford has been taking snaps at the nickel spot throughout the offseason. The fact that he's not even listed there suggests the coaching staff, perhaps Raheem Morris, feels moving him back outside might make him more comfortable, or simply that Billy Bowman Jr. has truly earned that starting role. And for those of you who know me, you know I've been all aboard the Billy Bowman hype train. The fact that Natron Brooks is now listed as Bowman's backup speaks volumes about the confidence in Bowman. It feels like it's D. Alford's time to take a step back and for Bowman to shine. So, your full defensive lineup looks like this: Leonard Floyd, David Onyemata, Brandon Dorlus, and Arnold Ebiketie as your front four. Caden Ellis and Divine Deablo are your interior linebackers. A.J. Terrell gets the start at outside corner 1, with Mike Hughes at CB2. Billy Bowman is your nickel corner, and Jesse Bates and Xavier Watts round out your safety tandem. Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 1, it's going to come down to one critical objective: stopping Baker Mayfield. While Racked White had a really strong season last year, a great rookie year, if we can neutralize Baker Mayfield, we have a legitimate shot to open up the season with a crucial W. And don't forget the rotation of young talent like Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. While they're currently listed behind Arnold Ebiketie and Leonard Floyd, they will absolutely be thrown into the mix. These depth charts are fluid, and you'll see different packages, different players, and different looks throughout the game. These guys are going to play, and they're going to make an impact. All right, Dirty Birds, I've got to cut this short. I've got a couple's massage booked for my fiancée and me by an anonymous bridal party member. Shout out to whoever that was. We'll find out soon enough. But I wanted to get this quick update out to you as soon as I got the news. Apologies if it was a bit scrambled. I literally pressed record the moment I saw these reports. Thank you so much for tuning in. What are your thoughts on ESPN's baffling prediction? And what do you make of the Week 1 depth chart, especially those defensive changes? Let us know in the comments below. If you want nonstop Falcons coverage, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. I cannot wait to see you all live on Sunday for our Week 1 watch party. Cheers!